but I know my life is already great. I know the felony charge is already dropped. I know all of it. And I'm continuing to walk and live as though, because it is, because I said so, because the frequency that I'm vibrating on does not align with jail, prison. It doesn't align with any of that. It doesn't. So no matter what my eyes see out here in this 3D realm, it's just an illusion. It's just a game. And if I fall for the game of, oh well, the other day they still pushed it onto the district court and I have to have a jury stand or whatever the case is. If I'm falling for this illusion and I'm getting all consumed with it and I'm like, oh well, I'm so consumed with it, I'm not posting content, I'm not enjoying my day, I'm not living, I'm not doing things with my daughter, I'm not, spending time with my family, I'm not focusing on my craft and living in my as a brother of mine says, my I am and my knowing and of who I am, where I'm going, and knowing the power that I possess. What's going on, family? My name is Don. I'm the one that's actually over this YouTube page. This is gonna be a little different. I know you guys always see me post my 100 pull-ups for 100 days challenge that I'm doing, but I wanted to dive deep in on my own personal life, you know what I'm saying, and things that are going on. And I think it would be something that you guys will be able to learn certain things from and apply to your own personal life. Now, I know you guys actually see that within those videos, I talk a lot about different things as far as like who you are, manifestations, and things of that nature. And I don't go into great detail because I'm still learning myself. But I have a great deal of knowledge when it comes to it. And maybe it's because I'm able to understand it and digest it in a certain way where it's easy for me to, apply to my own personal life. But as you guys can see by the title, yeah, in the 3D realm, there's something going on where I'm facing some type of prison time. But the reality I've created in my mind, there is no prison time. There is no felony charge pending. There is no type of misdemeanor or anything of that nature. And I know a lot of people might look at it and be like, oh, well, nah, nah, blah, blah, blah. I'm not accepting any titles that do not align with who I am. You know what I'm saying? Especially a thing from the past. Now, this might rub people the wrong way that may not have an understanding of what I'm talking about. But those that do understand what I'm talking about and understand exactly where I'm coming from know exactly what it is that I mean. And if you want me to break it down even more, what I'm saying is this. If I'm vibrating on a certain frequency, right? Because I've learned a lot after being put in that certain situation, right? Because I'm not in jail. I'm not in any type of prison. I'm out on a bond or whatever that you want to consider it. But those charges are dropped. And they're dropped because I say they're dropped. Because I know they're dropped. And because the 3D realm has time, all the 3D realm has to do is catch up to what's going on. But when I was saying the thing about vibrating and the frequency I'm vibrating on, the frequency I'm vibrating on, there is no compatibility of prison or jail or anything like that. So I went to, I had a preliminary hearing. A preliminary hearing is basically when they bring in the victim or whatnot, and then they take the stand and they bring in any other witnesses and they all just get questioned by the prosecutor. My lawyer questions the victims or whatever the case is. And the judge basically sits down and dissects he dissects all the information he's heard about what's going on, and essentially chooses, okay, cool, this is enough evidence to take it over to the district court. The district court is where you have the jury or whatnot, and then the jury listens to the case and all this and all that, or whatever the case is, right? Now, it says 4 minutes. I don't want to make this video too long, but I want to give you guys some pieces of information as to what put me in a certain situation and how I've gotten myself out of that situation. Because I'm not worried about the future. I'm not worried about the past. Right now is the only thing that matters. I got in a certain situation because of the frequency I was listening to. Listening to, rap music, man, worrying about things in the 3D realm, my ego, what makes my ego feel good, carrying myself like I'm just better than everyone, like I'm above this person and that person. And I got a gun on me, man. I got a Glock. I'm carrying it around everywhere I'm going, man. And not that I'm being this person that's just looking to harm someone and do something to someone, but just in that energy, man. And I'm vibrating on that frequency, so I'm attracting things in my life while I'm on that frequency, man. Wasn't able to uphold a job, certain things with my son, not having custody of my child, my son. I have a daughter also, my son or whatnot, man. And just a lot of different things that I was experiencing while I was on that frequency, man. And some people would say, oh, boo-hoo, that is not fair, or this or that. You should be able to see your child, or you shouldn't be in this situation. Well, I'm not in this situation. The situation is good. I'm great. I'm amazing. My life is beautiful. And I'm not just saying it to say a certain thing. I actually feel it on the inside. I've done the work. And I kind of want to tell you guys that it's two things, actually. So I'm going to go back to what I was saying, and I'm going to finish saying what I was about to say. But being on that frequency, man, whatever it is that came to me, man, I ended up having a case, a misdemeanor case, man. It was crazy. Like, I got out of the military. I went to boot camp. I didn't make it all the way through boot camp. I got I won't say medically discharged. I finessed my way out of the military. Because it wasn't something that I genuinely wanted to do, man. And it's not something that I was going to allow myself to sit down and be a part of, because my heart wasn't in it, man. My heart just was not in it. I just didn't really care. There was a part of swim. I passed one part of the swim, the other part of the swim test. It got me, and I created excuses for myself. I made a lot of excuses for myself. And figured out a way to get out of boot camp because I was so embarrassed, and my ego, like I said, my ego could not take the fact that I was not able to pass something, and I did whatever I could to get out of the military. So after I got out of the military, man, I'm on a certain frequency, man. I'm not on a frequency that's supposed to be here, attracting these things that I would enjoy in my human experience. I'm attracting things to the opposite. I had a Jamba Juice case, a case about, it's a misdemeanor, exhibition of a deadly weapon. And essentially, man, I went to the car and got a gun, put it on my person. And for specific reasons, of course. But mainly because, living in the area that I live in, man, a lot of people don't really have that Um, it's not a lot of crime here. You know what I'm saying? Where I'm from, there's a lot of crime, but where I live now, I live in Idaho. It's not this thing where there's crime all the time. I mean, there's a lot of um, cases like DUIs and things of that nature, but like crime where this person gets shot, that person gets shot, there's not that kind of stuff going on. So took it upon myself, got my gun, put on my person. Long story short, months went by. I'm still on this frequency, man. Months went by. You know, after the little situation happened, I didn't think anything of anything. Months go by, knock at the door, boom, boom, boom. Hey, need some papers, you've been served, you need to come to court on this date for this charge, whatever the case is. And I'm like, yo, okay, cool. What the fuck? Like, what the fuck? And I'm tripping. I'm tripping, man. I'm like, yo, like, what the fuck is going on? You know, still in that frequency. I don't give a damn. I don't give a fuck about this shit. Blah 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 blah. I'm fearful, but my ego on the inside, man, I'm not about to even try to exhibit any type of fear, any type of emotion, like where. But at the end of the day, even though it was a misdemeanor, I'm new to the court system of, having to go to court for whatever reason. I'm new to that with that case. Um, I'm just I'm worried on the inside, man. You know, somebody else that might have been through the system a lot might be like, man, that's nothing to worry about. But I'm worried about it. I don't know what's going on. I'm not going to jail. That's not something I'm actually fucking with. You know what I'm saying? But then I end up having some things going on with my child's mother, my son's mother. End up not being in a position of, what's the case? What's the thing? Not being able to see my damn son, man. You know, she ended up having the financial help. I didn't have the financial help. She ended up having the financial help to get herself a lawyer or whatnot, and whatever the case is. Long story short, she has full custody of my son. And you guys might be like, why is he telling me all this? Like, why is he saying all this? You will get it. Just give me, it's 11:11. You'll get it. You'll get it. The simple fact of the matter, man, is a lot of these things continuously happen back to back to back to back. You know, to the point I ended up, and I'm being open with you guys, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, I have nothing to hold. I have nothing to hold back. You know, and I'm hoping this. I'm not even hoping. Hope is not real. I'm knowing this will help someone. I know it is. Ended up having a thing of, so whenever you have like a civil protection order out against you, right? There are some people that actually put hands on people, you know what I'm saying? Like there are abusive situations where there are those types of things are needed, like a domestic violence or a civil protection order, because a person is feeling like, oh, I'm threatened. Oh, and I fear for my life. You know, please keep this person away from me. I believe those types of things are for those situations. But I'm in a situation where I have a protection order against me, man. You know, my with my child's mother, right? And even after knowing there was one out, my ego, I don't care about that shit. I got to a point where I'm like, you know what? I wash my hands with it. You know, I want to see my son. I want to indulge with my son. I want to, whatever the case is. I just wash my hands with it. Send a text message, boom, 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 boom. I'm done with it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wish my son the best. I wish you the best. Whatever the case is, boom. Me being ignorant of the law. Well, I won't necessarily say ignorant of the law, because this goes to the second time. So the first time, cops knock on the door, hey, you violated a protection order, whatever the case is. I'm in jail, $1,000 bond. My girl gets me out. She knows everything that's going on. The second time, I went to jail for this twice. The second time, I got into a position where there was mail. There was mail in my mailbox, and I thought it was hand delivered. And by me thinking it was hand delivered, man, I reached out to her and contacted her. Lo and behold, a few days before that, I'm in a situation where I go by a Jamba Juice, not a Jamba Juice, a Dutch Bros, man, and just to get a drink. But again, ego is a thing that you have to conquer, or it will conquer you. I went to a Dutch Bros. There was this guy there or whatnot I went through before, and he was acting weird. He was always acting weird for whatever reason, man. And this specific time I went through, I got a specific drink, like a black tea with no ice or black tea with light ice, one of them. I just don't like ice. And having a conversation with him, like, oh no, it's supposed to be with no ice. And I give the drink back to him, and he takes the drink. And then I was about to pull off, but I was like, anyways, I don't want to get too deep into it. No one got hurt, nothing of that nature like that, man. But in a situation, man, where I'm facing, I have a charge pending, aggravated assault with the enhancement or whatnot. So basically, if someone feels threatened or whatever the case is, by all means, you know, I'm gonna leave the details for that case there, because, like I said, I'm gonna keep all this going so you guys can see this entire journey, because it's already dropped. The 3D realm, I keep all this information so you guys see how it unfolds in the 3D realm. And here, my heart, my ego, my spirit, everything knows everything's good. All of it's dropped. And the reason I'm telling you guys about this is because I know everything's good. But along this journey, what I've learned is you must be in understanding of what frequency you're vibrating on. When I was vibrating on the frequency of not giving a fuck, not giving a damn about this person, that person, being very egotistical, not caring about this or caring about that, man, I had a washer and dryer that I knew didn't work, man. And I was gonna sell it to a couple that on a Facebook marketplace. I was gonna sell it to a couple, man. And I knew it didn't work, just for some money, man, because I was moving out of my house. And the crazy thing about it is I didn't end up doing that. I was locked up. You know what? I was about to go take it to them, but I ended up getting, there was a warrant out for my arrest, and I got arrested, right? And beforehand, I've been watching Bob Proctor. I'll make a part two to this. I'll make a part two to this because there's some good stuff. I was going to go take the wash and dryer to these people, man, but I was going to head to church to complete some community service hours, and then I was going to come back home and then get the wash and dry, put it on a U-Haul, and take it to these people. But there was a warrant out for my arrest, and I got arrested before I could even go to the church. So leaving my house, there was a detective or whatever the case is, and pulled me over, whatnot, put me in handcuffs, and it's for the violation of a protection order, because I thought something was hand delivered to me. Because I thought something was hand delivered to me, I contacted her. And I never put my hands on her, never done anything of that nature, any of that sort. It's one of those cases of you move on from a woman, and there's a child in between, and whatever the case is, I brought everything on myself because I put myself in those situations. I'm not blaming anyone for anything. I'm not blaming my son's mother. I'm not blaming anyone for putting me in jail. I'm not blaming anyone for having a felony case pinned, or, you know what I'm saying? Well, in the 3D realm, my mind, my reality, that doesn't even live here. I'm not pointing fingers at anyone, because if I'm pointing fingers at people, I'm giving them that power of why my life is the way it is. I take full power. I'm not giving anyone any type of power that belongs to me. So that means things that may seem bad, things that may seem good, it's all my fault because of the energy that I'm vibrating on, the frequency that I'm vibrating on. But after I got locked up because of that, the whole thing at the Dutch Bros thing, I didn't think that was anything. So I drove home with thinking everything was cool. So I go there, okay, cool. $2,000 bond, I'm about to bond out, cool. Nah, they put a felony on me, man. You know what? I'm not even gonna make a part 2 to this. It's gonna be a full video, man. They drop a felony case on me, man. Aggravated assault with enhancement. So some people look at aggravated assault like not knowing anything, and it's nothing against anyone that doesn't know. I didn't know, because I'm like, aggravated assault, I didn't put my hands on nobody. I didn't even do anything to anybody. You know what I'm saying? But got locked up. I was going to take the drive, wash and dry, go to church for the community service. We already there, cool. Got locked up, thinking I'm about to get out, but then like, boom, you got a felony charge. And I'm like, yo, what the fuck? So, and it's a Friday. So they like, you won't have a bond set or anything like that, simply because you have to be arraigned for this one thing right here. So I had to sit in there over the weekend. I didn't know what the fuck was going on. Didn't know this, didn't know that. You know, then Monday comes, you know what I'm saying? I get to go down. They walk me down to the thing where you have a hearing over this like TV thing inside of the jail. And the judge ends up saying, well, the prosecutor that was there was basically like, the prosecutor's job is to, you know, get a win. The lawyer's job is to get a win. And it's just like a battle, a friendly battle, or whatever the case is. And the prosecutor doesn't even know you. They're just reading things from a document, and they're trying to make you paint a picture of you to for whatever reason, man, to get the win. So they setting themselves up so whenever they go through whatever type of trial or hearing you got, the next prosecutor is easier for them. But the judge ends up saying, oh no, we're going to set it for $100,000 bond. I think it was 150,000 or 120,000 at first, and he said, no, we're going to. He reduced it down to 100,000, and I'm like, yo, $100,000 bond, man. I ain't got no $100,000 bread. But I didn't know the whole thing about 10%. But even then, I'm like, yo, I ain't got $10,000 to throw towards no damn amount. What the fuck? Like, I'm going through it, man. I'm mad. I'm laying down in the bed. Whenever I go back up there, man, like, I'm just like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do, man. I don't know what to do. I don't have family here. I moved down here. All my family is back. The only family I have here are my two sons, my son and my daughter, and my girl that I'm with. I don't know what the fuck I'm about to call, who I'm about to call, what I'm about to do. But mind you, I told you I was listening to Bob Proctor, and this is before I even knew who I was or anything of that nature. Like, you hear certain things about the law of attraction, vibrations, and all these different things. And I'm speaking in a sense of people that are new to this. But you hear certain things about law of attraction or law of polarity or cause and effect or paradigm shifting or things of that nature. You don't even know what they're talking about. I didn't know what he was talking about, you know what I'm saying? But something kept on gravitating me or attracting me to this. You know, I would always see these types of videos, man, on my algorithm, and I'm not even watching anything like this. It would just pop up. And there's a saying that whenever the student is ready, the teacher will appear. And I ended up clicking on the dude. I clicked on him, man, and he was talking about different things about reshaping your paradigm or shifting your paradigm. A paradigm is basically habits that you have in order to um, change your reality. You must shift your paradigm. Basically, create new habits. Things of like you are what you attract. You attract what you are, and I was attracting all of those negative things into my life. Literally, I was attracting everything negative. You know, certain interactions with people at a store I would go to. I'm thinking that, you know, the world is out to get me, man. I'm in a victim mentality. Now that I think about it, I was in a victim mentality. Like, oh, the world is out to get me. People like this towards black people, and you know, uh, I had a certain type of thought process towards, you know, certain communities, and I'm sure you guys know what I'm talking about. I shouldn't go into great detail about that. I'm not saying that to be rude at all, but all of that, all of the habits, everything, my thought process, my beliefs, my everything, it was in a sense like it had to happen, man. It had to happen. I had to go through all these different things and all these different experiences. I had to be in a position where the first case I had, it was open, and then the things with my child mother, even though I never done anything to threaten that girl or harm that girl in any type of way ever. None of that. You know, only thing is I just didn't show up to the court case. When I was given those papers like, hey, we need you to come to the court case or whatnot, or they're gonna like keep this thing standing, basically to hear my side of the story. Because if I would have went there and provided like, you know, my side of the story of I just want to see my son, I'm not harassing anyone, I'm not doing anything like that, I would show the messages like there is no threats, there are no anything, this is all BS. You know, it was all just a one-sided story. So if you don't have the other side, you don't have anything to like go off of. So of course the judge is gonna go all with her when I didn't even show up. So it was like a default type of case because I was in the mindset I gotta go to work, I gotta make this money. That's the mindset I was in, so I didn't go. But anyways, even with that case coming up and I got locked up for that, and then the case with the Dutch Bros and having a firearm there, whatever the case is, man, again, didn't threaten anyone or anything. And I'm trying to figure out what the fuck is going on. You know what I'm saying? Um, it all had to happen simply so I could be sat the fuck down and I could have things that I was learning along the way that I could test out. But I didn't know I was testing it out. I didn't know that I was becoming a scientist of who I actually am. I didn't know that this was, you know, adding the sauce to, you know what I'm saying, to the bowl of things that I'm creating, or something that I was going to need to pop up in my life as a memory, as, you know, things or challenges pop up. So like I told you guys, I was listening to Bob Proctor, like 2 videos of his, man. Something about a paradigm shift. You know those old vintage looking videos with the thumbnails that look like it came out in the 1980s or 70s or something, man. So I clicked on it and I'm watching it. And he says, deeper into the video, I want you to take a piece of paper and at the top, I want you to write the letter A. Write down in great detail exactly how your life is. Exactly how your life is. And then on another piece of paper, I want you to write the letter B at the top. And I want you to write exactly how you desire your life to be in great detail, right? Meaning the money you want to make, how your spouse, everything that's going on, goals accomplished, like like what are you driving, where are you living, how do you feel, how does your body look, what kind of health are you in, like great detail. So as days went by, the $100,000 bond is posted. I get like a 24-hour, I'm in like a lockdown place. I only get an hour out. in the 23-hour lockdown, 1 hour out on the phone or whatever. And the reason I did that, and a lot of people would be like, oh, well, no, you scared or whatnot. It's not a thing of being scared. It's just the mindset I was in. If I go to uh, general, the general public, and I'm a black person in Idaho, and there's nothing but Caucasian individuals out here, there's gonna be some mess. That's my mindset, the way I was thinking. So I was like, man, nah, to prevent all that shit, because I'm not about to sign up for no jail. I got kids. I'm 24 years old. I'm not throwing my fucking life away. I just didn't understand what the fuck was going on, like why this was going on. Excuse me, I'm working on my cousin too. Why this is going on, the energy. I didn't know anything. I didn't understand it. I didn't understand it. But I wanted to prevent anything from further adding to things or keeping me there or whatnot. Because they were saying something about this. They said they don't allow any kind of fighting in the jail. And it doesn't even matter if it's my fault or not. So if somebody comes up to me and wants to do something to me and I'm doing something to protect myself, I got an automatic charge regardless. I heard that. Put me in the solitary confinement. That's where you need to take me, because I'm not chancing none of that. But that's why I was in there and whatnot. So I only got 1 hour out a day. And I would just go down, talk to my girl on the phone, try to figure certain things out. A bail bondsman, she's pregnant at the time, literally pregnant at the time. And we in the process of moving out the house. She pregnant at the time. And it's like a whole lot of shit is going on. She pregnant. We trying to move out this house to a different apartment. The due date is coming soon. You know, I don't have a job. You know, she's making money. She's an entrepreneur. She's making money, whatever the case is. And shit is just all over the place. We're trying to figure this out and figure that out. All the bail bondsmen are she's going to the bail bondsman, man, for like hours at a time, sitting there trying to get things together. And we're not figuring nothing out. Nothing. Like nothing's working. So days are going by. I finally just like, one of the things I did was this. I finally accepted where I was. I finally accepted that, okay, I'm just gonna be here. There's not gonna be a bond. There's not gonna be anything set. Okay, cool. But I kept on hearing in the back of my mind, like, write down something on a piece of paper, right? Just do it. So the thing that Bob Proctor had talked about, write down how your life is on a piece of paper, the A piece of paper, and then write down how you want your life to be on the B piece of paper. I did it. But what he said, do with the A piece of paper to burn it up or whatnot. I didn't have a lighter. So I just I ripped it to shreds. I seen all those, you get like slips of paper whenever you go to court or something like that. And you sign it, then they peel the white piece off, you get the pink and yellow sheet. I tore that to shreds. Anyone that I had, anything that had anything to do with jail, court, legal system, I ripped it all up, threw it away. I did not know that I was casting that away, believing that it's not my reality. I didn't understand any of this stuff. I didn't know that what I was doing was destroying that reality. That was the frequency that I was vibrating on. I didn't know that, but I was taking baby steps. You know, I was just doing what I was told without understanding why I was doing it. I didn't know why I needed to do it like that, or why this or why that. But I was destroying that reality. And the piece of paper, he said he wanted you the new piece of paper that you wrote out how you want your life to be, or the desired reality, to read that every morning. But instead of reading that every morning, I read that paper like, man, probably like 10 times, man, 15 times. It was like a lengthy paper, man, like 15 times. I read it out loud, and I read it, and I believed it, and I energized it, and I felt it, and I did all of that, man. Like, and I'm feeling everything that I'm saying, man. And I just like, man, I didn't even know that I just let go. When I was just like, man, fuck it. You know what I'm saying? Um, I ended up just working out that night, man. I think I was working out. I was working out that night first. I was working out first. And then I chose to write that paper and everything. Then I read it. And I ended up taking a shower and everything, came back, and I just kind of like stopped worrying. I stopped thinking about it. I stopped consuming my thoughts with what was going on, man. I just stopped. I just stopped, man. And what I ended up doing was, and this is when I was believing in, you know, the Bible and everything of that nature. And I wrote the paper down, read it over and over and over. And I know I keep saying the same thing, but I might edit a few things out of this, but I'm not going to be editing it too much. This is going to be just raw. Before I laid down, I said, all right, God, I'm just going to trust you. I'm just going to trust it. I'm just going to trust it. Man, if my mind is working, I know my mind is working correctly, but if my memory is correct, not even a few hours later, now I told you, I have $100,000 bond set, a $100,000 bond set. I don't know where the fuck this money coming from. I don't know. I don't have $10,000 saved. My girl ain't got $10,000 in the bank saved. Where is this money coming from? I don't know. But I just said, forget it, man. I'm just gonna trust it. Man, I laid down, turned my back, and I felt the worry subside. I felt the worry, all the fear, all the concern just leave. And once I got to that state of about to go to sleep and just being very like, okay, acceptance, and I'm just letting go, I'm just going to sleep. I remember everything I read. Man, they have this check that they do, I think every 15 minutes, they have a CO or correctional officer come by and they check to make sure inmates or whatever the case is are good. The man comes by, the door opens. And I'm like, he's like, Mr. Thompson, you free to go? I'm like, I sit up, I'm like, what? I'm free to go? Because I know you got to pay 10% on a bond. So that's $10,000. And I'm like, I'm lost for words. I don't know what the hell is going on. I don't understand what the fuck is going on, man. Again, I'm working on my cussing. I'm working on it. I'm working on it. And I'm like, how? Like, what is going on? Like, how? How am I free to go? And I'm almost like having a conversation with this man. And I need to be getting out of there. Because I'm just so shocked. And I don't even know what I just did. Regardless of my belief of a Bible, which I don't really have a belief in that. And I'm not shaming anyone that does. Where I am currently now in life, I just don't subscribe to that. But what I did was I energized everything that was wrote down on that paper, and I believed it. And even to this day, things that I wrote down on this paper, man, I still have the paper. Things that I wrote down on that paper, man, have still unfolded and is still unfolding. Like I wrote down to get that I would get my CDL, that I'm a CDL driver. I ended up getting my CDL, man. That I'm also an entrepreneur, making a certain amount of money per month. I don't even have a job, you know what I'm saying? And I'm just doing YouTube, Instagram. But I know my life is already great. I know the felony charge is already dropped. I know all of it. And I'm continuing to walk and live as though, because it is, because I said so, because the frequency that I'm vibrating on does not align with jail, prison, It doesn't align with any of that. It doesn't. So no matter what my eyes see out here in this 3D realm, it's just an illusion. It's just a game. And if I fall for the game of, oh well, the other day they still pushed it onto the district court and I have to have a jury stand or whatever the case is. If I'm falling for this illusion and I'm getting all consumed with it and I'm like, oh well, I'm so consumed with it, I'm not posting content, I'm not enjoying my day, I'm not living, I'm not doing things with my daughter, I'm not, spending time with my family, I'm not focusing on my craft and living in my as a brother of mine says, my I am and my knowing and of who I am, where I'm going, and knowing the power that I possess. As long as I'm doing that, I'm not worried about nothing. I'm not falling for no trick. All of this is a trick. This right here, yeah, it looks real for a human experience, but it's not real. What's in here, when you close your eyes and you can envision yourself do things, man, and create a reality and you energize it emotionally and you just know and you believe it and you see it, that's what's real. All it takes then is for the 3D realm to align itself. Doesn't mean it's not aligned. It's gonna take time. It's gonna take a day, 2 days, 3 days, 4 days, 5. Cool. But don't worry about that. No matter what you see, just still know in here everything is good. Everything is. It has to be. That's why a lot of people and we've all experienced and we all can agree to this. When things seem like they're bad, something always pops up and works out for the good as soon as you stop worrying about it. I knew, and I know to this day, that everything I believe in, everything that I know, not even a belief, everything that I know when it comes to the source, knowing that I am a God, knowing that I am I am of the source. I do create my own reality. Knowing that other night when I was in that jail, man, I got myself out of there. Not knowing where the money was going to come from, not knowing any of that. And I still got out. But I got out. I think my girl put like $3,000, $4,000 down. Like $3,000 or $4,000 down, man. And they were willing to do payments, man. And everyone else, they could have done payments, but they weren't accepting nothing. Like, nothing or no one can tell me this does not work. Can't no one or nothing, no one, I don't care if they try to persuade me, I'm not listening. Everyone has their own opinions. Everyone has their own perspectives. Everyone has their own experiences. And me and my knowing, nothing will ever persuade me from what I know to be true. And I start doing more videos like this too, man. I start doing more videos like this. I just wanted to, I don't know. Something was just telling me to come do this. I'm just listening. I'm just listening to my spirit. My spirit says do something, I do it. Because as things have been unfolding for me and things have been just going on, like the other day, I had a Cheesecake Factory card, a $100 Cheesecake Factory card. And I'm literally at the stoplight. Something tells me to back up. It's like something just takes over. Like I just backed up the car, rolled down the window. I said, "Hey, excuse me, I have $100 Cheesecake Factory card if you want it." Something just told me to give it to you. She said, "Oh, for real? Are you serious? Today's his birthday." Today's the little boy's birthday. And I just back up and I have a $100 Cheesecake Factory card. Just tells me to give it to him and it's his birthday. Right? You can't make this up, man. You cannot make this stuff up. So I'm listening. I'm doing it. Like I'm listening, and I don't care. I'm not even gonna say there may be comments of someone saying that, oh, well, this, I don't care. I know. I'm not saying it to be cocky. I'm not saying it to be arrogant. If you know 2 + 2 is 4, and there are other people trying to convince you that it's 5 or 6, are you gonna care what they talking about? Are you gonna care? No, because you know 2 + 2 = 4. You've seen it multiple times. You got these 2 apples and these 2 pears, and you combine them together, you got 4 fruits. Can't nobody convince you and say that it's 5 fruits. So that's the same thing with me. My experiences, what I know, no one, I don't care. No one is going to change me from that. And I hold that so dear to me because I know who I am. I know where I'm going. I know what's going on. There is no other alternative. The case is dropped. I'm not carrying myself like, okay, well, I'm gonna carry myself like this just in case this, or just in case that. Like, what if this happens? I'm gonna live my life like this and get a job and do this just in case. No, there is no just in case. Because I said the cases are dropped, the cases are dropped. That's it.